Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be about an unexpected medical scare that I had that resulted in a trip to the hospital. I'm healing from this situation. So it started out with a stomach rash, and then I ended up finding out that I had spent 2 nights in my bed with a wolf spider. A wolf spider, y'all. So let's get into the situation. I'm going to tell you what happened to me, how the hospital handled it, and how I'm recovering from this right now. So before I get into that story, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Mary Goff. My channel is My Season Life with Mary Goff, where I encourage, motivate, support, and empower women over 50 to live their best lives. I am an expat. I've lived and traveled all over the world. I'm on my second country. I lived in Panama for almost 3 years, and now I'm living in Portugal for about 6 months. So I'm talking to you about moving abroad, relocation. I'm sharing all sorts of tips. We talk about healthy living and also travel tips. So if that's something that you're interested in, stay tuned and make sure you click on notifications so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. Okay, so let's get right to it. Okay, so like I mentioned before, it started off with I woke up one morning and had this rash on my stomach. And, I didn't think too much of it because I am very sensitive to insect bites. If I get bitten by something, I'm going to swell, I'm going to break out. So I was thinking it was a reaction to something that bit me. And the night before, I had slept with the window open. I slept right next to the window. So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, something must have got into the room. So no big deal. I went about my normal day, and it was, I won't say it's itching a little bit, had a little pain. So I decided to stop by the pharmacy and get like a topical cream for insect bites. Okay, so the very next day, I woke up and the rash had spread across my stomach. So it was now maybe 4 times bigger than it was the night before. And on my upper back area, upper shoulder area, I also had like inflammation, and it was like little bites up and down my back. So I was like, oh my gosh, something is still in my bed. Something is still biting me. I got to figure this out. So as I'm kind of like trying to not freak out in my head, I'm thinking, okay, whatever it is, I need to sterilize this room. I need to spray. I need to get rid of whatever is in my room. I need to clean it up. So I literally started to vacuum, and I started to pull off my sheets. And as I was pulling off the sheets off my bed, here comes this spider running down my sheet. And the spider was, I'm going to say, about that size. It was bigger than a quarter and maybe the size of like a 50-cent piece, okay? I had never seen a spider like that. Not that I've seen a lot of spiders in my days, but so instinctively I grabbed my slipper because I have hardwood floors here in the apartment. So I always keep shoes right by my bed so I'm not walking on the hard floor. And these are like the shoes that I keep. They're like a very comfortable sandal. I got those when I was in Thailand. I have several pairs. So I instinctively just grabbed the shoe, boom, and hit the spider on the bed like really fast, really fast. And for a second I was thinking, okay, what if it's not dead? Maybe it's just faking dead. It's just stung. So I hit it again to make sure it was dead. And sure enough, it was dead. So in my head, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this thing has been in the bed, because this is like the second day. So for like 2 nights, I have been in the bed with this spider, sleeping with this spider. So I'm thinking, oh my gosh, okay? And I'm like, what kind of spider is this? So I decided that I was going to upload the spider into the
They
system,
uploaded a photo of the
Google
spider,
or
not the
whatever,
actual spider.
to see what kind of spider it was. Okay, so this spider is called a wolf spider.
So this pic was taken after, of course, I killed it. You can imagine how it looked with his legs completely stretched out. You can see the wolf spider is not poisonous, but the bites can cause itching, swelling, irritation. They're fast runners and they don't spin webs.
Okay, so now you know what type of spider it was, a wolf spider, that I had spent 2 nights in the bed with. Now, I rarely go to the doctor. I am very in tune with my body, and because the rash had spread, and I had irritation all up and down my back, I'm thinking I'm having some kind of allergic reaction to this spider. So I'm thinking I need to go to the hospital, go see a doctor to make sure everything is okay, because something was just not feeling right. I was feeling like, like a pain, and it was very uncomfortable. And I just didn't like the way I was feeling. I was like, something is going on. And you know, if it is poisonous, because you can't rely on the internet, completely. So I was like, if it's poisonous, I need to get something inside I might be infected or something. I need to get something inside my body to fight this infection off. So, made an appointment, contacted the medical concierge, made an appointment for the same day. And in the meantime, I'm at home trying to, because the appointment was like 3 hours later, trying to not diagnose myself, trying to not freak out, trying to stay calm. Like, okay, Mary, clean up your room. I got all that stuff done, washed all my sheets and blankets and everything. And I was like, okay, so whatever it is, I'm just going to face it head on. I'm the type that I rarely go to the doctor because I rarely get sick. But if something's off, I'm going to go check it out. I'm not going to let it, dwell on and on. I'm going to face stuff head on right away. And whatever it is, I'm going to deal with it. So, went to the doctor that day, and I was seeing another general practitioner because mine was on maternity leave for a whole year, so I needed to find somebody else. So I ended up with another lady, and I went to the hospital, the CUF Hospital Trindale, which is right across the street from the Trindale metro station here in Porto. Matter of fact, I didn't even realize that I was in the hospital. It's in a historical building, and it is very large, and they can't put a lot of signs up front. It has a small little sign. They can't put a lot of signs up front because it is in a historical building. So it's a private hospital that I went to the same day. So because the doctor didn't have any background information about me, she wanted to go over my recent testing that I just had done. So we talked about the results of my EKG, electrocardiogram, and we also talked about my blood tests. And she also, emphasized that, my LDL, my bad cholesterol, was slightly elevated. So we talked about foods that I could eat, and I was telling her about that crazy detox I was on. And so she made a prescription for me to come back. I think she said in 4 months, 3 to 4 months, to get the test retaken again to make sure my levels were where they needed to be. But everything else looked great. Everything was good. She wasn't concerned about the cholesterol, but she said it was slightly elevated. So we want to make sure I get it back down to where it needs to be. And so then I was telling her about the stomach rash, and I was telling her about, the feelings, the marks up here on my back. And we talked about the spider and all that good stuff. And I took photos of the spider, so I was prepared to, show her what bit me. And so she said, okay, let's take a look at your stomach. So we walked over to the examination table, and she started putting on the gloves. And she told me, and I'm pulling up my shirt. And as I pulled up my shirt, she started taking off the gloves. She said, you got shingles. And I was like, what? She said, you have the shingles. She said, is it all on one side of your body? Did it cross over to the other side? Your belly button is like the center of your body. And all of the rash and the sensitivity was all located on the left side of my body. Everything is all the discomfort. Everything is on the left side of my body. So I was like, oh, in my head, I'm like, oh my gosh, I got the shingles. So let's talk about what is the shingles.
So these are some facts about shingles. It's an infection caused by the varicella zoster virus. It's a virus that causes a painful rash anywhere on the body, and it affects those who have had chickenpox in the past. And the risks increase with 1 in 3 adults expected to get shingles in their lifetime. Vaccines are available to help prevent shingles.
So you have learned some of the facts about shingles. One of the most important things that I also want to share with you is that if you have these particular symptoms, where you have rashes on your body and they're painful and they're all on one side of the body, they don't cross over the center of your body, then you want to be treated within 72 hours. You want to start taking your medication within 72 hours. I started taking my medication within 48 hours on day 2. So this is not a virus that you want to sit around and wish that it goes away. No, you want to immediately go get it checked, and you want to immediately start taking your medication, because the sooner you start taking the medication, the less severe the virus is going to be, and hopefully it will clear up a whole lot quicker. You won't have a bad outbreak. And my particular outbreak, I think because I caught it sooner than later, is really not that bad. I am having some discomfort, especially because I sleep on my back. So because the left side of my back is, I won't say irritated, a little inflamed. Sometimes at night it's hard for me to sleep, and I'm trying to sleep on my right side, but that's not my normal way of sleeping. So that's been a little difficult, and I just feel like I have a virus. I mean, I don't feel well. So this is, I think, day 4. Yeah, day 4 of me having this virus. Day 4 of me taking the meds. I feel like it's getting better because it's not as irritated as it was, and the some of the rash has started to form a scab, which, as we know, a scab is a form of healing. So that's a good thing. So I guess I'm getting better. That's also, the doctor also told me that the rash could go away, within a matter of weeks, but the pain could linger on. So I don't know how it's going to be, but right now, So after she diagnosed me with shingles, she immediately, the doctor sat down and she's writing out the prescription of pain medication and also, an antibacterial to get rid of the virus, to get the virus out of my body, to fight the virus. And she told me I needed to start taking these pills immediately. So directly across the street from the hospital was the pharmacy. So I took the prescriptions and went right into the pharmacy. And once again, it's a numbered system. And the same thing, I don't know if I mentioned that when I got to the hospital, there was because it was a private hospital, so there was like 6 different receptionists. And there was no one in the lobby. However, you still have to go to the machine and get a number. And then receptionist 2 called me, who didn't speak a lot of English. Then the other girl came over to help. And so I just had to register in that hospital because I had never been in that hospital. So I had to show my insurance card and that stuff. So then they told me to go to the 6th floor and go down, make a left, go all the way down to the hallway, make another left, and wait until like an orange waiting room. And then I'll be called by my number. And something that was really surprising to me was that the waiting room signs were in English and Portuguese. So check this out. So I found that very surprising that they had the signs. So I was like, okay, so I don't have to figure out where to go because the other side was for the receptionist and the waiting room was on the left side. So I was like, okay, so if they call my number over here and it had the numbers of the waiting rooms, all very organized. I like their number system because you don't have to try to figure out which room. Everything has a number or a letter. So the hospitals are very organized here. So the doctor that I saw, female doctor, was in the first room. So after she's writing my prescription out, say thank you, and she wishes me well, and I leave and I go across the street to get my prescription. And so I turn in the prescription, and I walked in and I said, "Boa tarde, fala inglês." Good afternoon, do you speak English? And the girl said yes. And so we started talking in English. And she wanted to know if I wanted the generic brand or the, I guess, designer brand. And I was like, what's the price difference? And is it the same thing? And she said it's exactly the same thing. So I said, okay, just give me the generic brand. And so within 5 minutes, I was only in that pharmacy for maybe 5 minutes. You know how in the States, even if you send your prescription ahead of time, you go in there and you waiting hours and hours for a prescription. They are filling prescriptions immediately, right there, no wait, unless it's a bunch of people in the pharmacy, but you still take a number and boom, you're called and they go right to the back and get your prescription, boom, and they put it in their system and they're handing it to you. So, so this is the prescription that I got. Okay, so one thing that I wanted to point out that I thought was pretty kind of the pharmacist, that she wrote on the box which one I should take and how long I should take it. I think you saw it on the slide, but you guys can see, well, the lighting, you might not be able to see that. But she hand wrote on the box, 1 tablet, 8 hours during 7 days. So this is the antiviral, the medication that fights the infection, the medication that you should take as soon as possible so it can be as effective as possible. And this is ibuprofen for the pain that I take once every 12 hours. So I take it in the morning, and then I take this before I go to bed to help me sleep. And I am not I don't even like medication. I don't take anything. I don't like pain medication. But of course, I have to take this for the entire 7 days to make sure the infection is gone. So of course, I'm going to take these. I'm going to wean myself off after 5 days. I think I have one more day to take these. Yeah. But it's more discomfort right now than painful. And maybe I'm not feeling it because I am taking these pain pills. So I'm going to see how I feel without it. But the first couple of days, I needed the pain pills, and especially to sleep. It was very hard sleeping without it. So I wanted to say this, that my appointment was at 2:30 with the doctors, and I looked at my phone when I was leaving the pharmacist. It was 3:15. So the total time for the doctor and the pharmacist appointment, I left with my medication. Was 45 minutes, y'all. 45 minutes. I had seen a doctor, was diagnosed, received the prescription, went to pharmacy, and had my medication all within 45 minutes. So, because she told me that I needed to take the medication right away, and I know I didn't have anything at the house cooked, so I was like, okay, I'm going to stop by a cafe and get something to eat so I can not go home hungry, so I can just go home and lie down and relax. And plus, I wanted to take the antiviral medication right away. So right down the street from the Trindale metro station is a cafe. I think it's called Cafe Porto, something like that. Went in and look at this salad that I had. Take a look at the salad. So after eating this yummy salmon salad, it was delicious, and just, trying to take it all in, take a breather. Okay, I have the shingles. I just had the medication. You just got to deal with it. And the good thing is that that later on that night, around 6 o'clock, I was having a bunch of groceries delivered that I had ordered the day before. So I was like, okay, this is gonna be perfect because I don't need to go out. I can just relax and chill in my apartment. I'll have plenty of food to eat. So, so I'm still in the healing process. How I'm feeling today, definitely not nowhere near 100%. I'm still achy, and I'm not feeling the entire pain because I am on pain meds. So I'm not sure how it feels without the pain meds, but it's uncomfortable with the pain meds. She said if they're not working, she'd give me something stronger, but I'm not a big fan of medication, so I'm not gonna go back for anything stronger. I'm just gonna handle the discomfort that I have right now. I do definitely feel that it's getting better each day. So I just want to say, so I had went into the hospital a couple of weeks ago for just preventative care, and I did a video on that. Wasn't expecting to actually go back in for treatment, which I did, and I'm not happy to say that everything went very well. Very happy with the care. The hospital system is so organized. And once you get over the intimidation factor about, being in Portugal in a different language, especially with my Spanish background, some of the words are very similar. But even if that, you're going to always find someone that can speak English. and some of the directions in the hospital were in English as well. So very foreigner friendly as far as the hospital was very well equipped to handle foreigners. So so that put me at ease, very much at ease. So stay in tune with your body. If you're having any kind of symptoms, something feels off, no matter what it is, don't delay. Go get it checked out, because early prevention, early diagnosis, early care is the key to effective treatment, and being getting over the disease quicker. I'm tired, you guys. I'm gonna go take a nap. I don't feel like I'm losing my voice, but yeah. So say a prayer for me. I'm gonna post this video. Probably I'll try to get it done. Post this video soon, but just know that I am here, healing, and hopefully I'll be back to normal really soon. All right. So take care of yourself. Thanks so much for watching. And if you received any value from this video, make sure you hit the like and subscribe, and share it if you know there's anyone that may find this information valuable as well. All right. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself. Bye. Till the next time.